Okay, for this video here, we are just going to go over these practice problems on the graphing. Okay, so if you haven't already, do the one at the top of page 4 here. Whoops. Do the one at the top of page 5 here. Okay, try those on your own first. Okay, erase all that extra stuff. Okay, some other ways that you guys can do this, and you can kind of play around with it and see what you feel the most comfortable with. One way that I've had some students do it in the past is sometimes they identify their split point first. Okay, so remember, split point is where the change is going to occur. So it's going to occur on this line here. And then after they identify what their split point is, okay, we've got our blue function and we've got our red function. And sometimes what they do is they will go ahead and identify, like, okay, hey, I need my x to be greater than 1. So that means I need my red function over on this side. I need my x to be less than or equal to 1. Those values are all less than or equal to 1 there. So I need my blue function on this side. So sometimes kids will go ahead and just identify that first. Okay, so our red function is f of x equals 2x minus 5. That is y equals 2x minus 5. A lot of times it just helps to write that out because that's more used to what we're seeing. Okay, negative 5 is our point here. And then we will go up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1, up 2 to the right 1. We continue that pattern on. Okay, and now that they've identified that you need your red function on the right side, you can just go ahead and only draw the right side there because we know already that we need our red function on the right. Okay, so kind of saves a little bit of space. Some of the kids in the past have preferred to do it that way. You could do it the first way I showed you, or you can do it that way as well. Your next one that you have here is your blue function, which is f of x equals the cubed root of x, which we know is y equals the cubed root of x. Okay, so back to your parent function, 0, 0, 1, 1. It is not 4, 2, because we don't know what the cubed root of 4 is. It is 8, 2. Okay, negative 1, because you can take the cubed root of a negative number. And then negative 8, negative 2. And again, we already know this is only going to be on the left side because we already identified that's only going to be on the left side of your split point. Okay? Now, last thing that we have to do is we do have to identify where do we need an open circle and where do we need a closed circle. Well, if you look, this is just a greater than. So our red needs to be an open circle. Okay, and then our blue is greater than or equal to, so blue needs to make sure that is filled in. So that's the first practice piecewise function there. Okay, again, if you haven't paused the video, go ahead and pause it and try this one on your own. See how you guys do. So for this first one here, we've got our red function is f of x equals the absolute value of x. Okay, and then our blue function is f of x equals 2x minus 3. Okay, we may notice your split point. That's the wrong color. Embarrassing. Your split point is at negative 1 this time. Okay, so now I got my split point over on this side of it. Okay, my red function, my x is less than negative 1. So your red function is less than negative 1. There's your values where they are less than negative 1. Your blue function is x is greater than negative 1. These values here, your x is greater than negative 1. So blue needs to be on the right. Okay, so your red function is the absolute value of x. The absolute value of x. Remember, that is our v function. Okay, absolute value gives us our v function. And I need this to be on the left side. So all I really need is this piece over here. Absolute value is only on the left side. Okay, my blue function, okay, again, a lot of times it just makes more sense when we see it written like this. Y equals 2x minus 3. So minus 3 is my y-intercept, slope of 2, up 1 to the right one, up 1 to the right one. Or sorry, up 2 to the right one, my bad. Up 2 to the right one, up 2 to the right one. Could also go down 2 to the left one. And I did that because I need to go all the way to that split point there. Draw my line. Okay. And we've got that there. The last thing that we need to do, blue function, I need to have a closed circle. Red function, I need to have an open circle. Okay. There's your piecewise function on that. We got one more, and oh boy, it looks like a doozy. Because this one, we've got 2 split points, and that is possible. We have a split point at -2, and we have a split point at +2. So, my red function, f of x equals -x minus 4, okay, if your x is less than 2. If your x is less than 2. So that means I need my red function over here, okay? Then I also have f of x equals -x squared. If, remember, if the x is in the middle, we shade in the middle, okay? So that is your x value is between -2 and 2. So in here in the middle is your blue function. And now we've got a third one, f of x equals x minus 4. And that is x minus 4 if x is greater than 2. So our yellow function will be over here on the right. Okay? So, starting out with your red function, I've got -x minus 4. That is y equals -x minus 4. So -4 here. -x means I'm going to go up 1 to the left one, 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 up 1 to the left one. Okay? And I need the red only over here on the left. Okay, so we're good there. Then, your blue function. That is a parabola. Okay? However, it has a negative. Remember, the negatives make these things flip. And that is negatives on the outside, so it will flip down. So each of the points of our parent function, our parabola, have now shifted down. Okay? I hope everybody's all right with that. The last one, we have our yellow function. It is y equals x minus 4. So -4. Okay, +1 is your slope. So up 1 to the right one, 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 up 1 to the right one. Okay. And we only need the yellow on the right. So that is this piecewise function. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Okay, last thing that we need to do is we need to find open circle and closed circles. So red, that is open. Shoot. You have to redraw the line. So red is open. Okay. We can see that the blue function on the left is closed, but the blue function on the right is open. So we'd have an open circle here. And then our yellow function, we can see is closed. So we close there. So that is your final piecewise function. Okay, we will do plenty of checking on this just to make sure, or practice on this just to make sure we understand what we are doing with these here.